So I'm originally from Turkey. I was born and raised part of my I guess, childhood in Istanbul. My father was in the service, so we got to travel quite a bit. Ended up in Belgium. Then I started college there and started attending University of Maryland and City Colleges of Chicago. They had European divisions there. And I ended up moving to the States. I've been here for 26 plus years and in the Peoria since 1997. So a majority of my life here in the U.S. has been in the Peoria area. So about 6 years ago, we decided we were ready to make a change in our life. So we're in our mid to late 40s. We had just lost my mother-in-law, and I think that really pushed us to kind of look at our life in a different light. And during that time frame, we just decided that we wanted to downsize. We decided we needed to do something that impacted others. We wanted more meaning, I think, in our lives, and I think it's very typical in the second half of your life. You start wondering those things. We realized we were spending a huge amount of money at Starbucks, and we had done some math and figured out that if we had our own espresso machine, we could do it cheaper at home. Well, by then Mike had figured out if we roasted at home, it would be even cheaper. So we were already very, very deep into learning about coffee. I think Mike and I are really curious people, and we put our minds to something. I think we like to also get things done. We started very small. We started just doing online retail bags of coffee, and then next thing I knew, we were doing farmers markets and weddings and graduations, and it started mostly with friends, and then the word got out we were doing this, and then one thing led to another, and then we opened up this place. Yeah. This is a landmark for Peoria. This was the porn shop of Peoria. This was Brown Bag Video, and everybody knew this. And to be honest, when we walked in, I could not visualize turning that place into a coffee shop. But my husband has amazing vision, honestly. I think we complement each other very well. He's very visionary, and I'm more execution focused, and it just works. So when we walked in, he was like, yep, this is it. We're going to get this place. I'm like, ugh. And it was just really a horrific place. So inexperience, I would say, was really challenging. We'd never worked on a project this size before. And to be honest, we're still learning. I'm going to try to tell you this without getting super, super emotional. I just lost my mom about 2 months ago, and 4.5 months before then I lost my father. And when I think about gender equality and education, the two people that have been most influential in my life, I would say, have been my parents. My mom was a working parent, which is not very common, again, for her generation. Many of her friends were stay-at-home moms and didn't have an education to go and pursue a career, and she taught 25 plus years. She was in education herself, and growing up in a household where my father was actually a general. He trained tens of thousands of soldiers, and I grew up with education being one of the most important investments in one's life. I always think about that one girl in Guatemala or Costa Rica or Nicaragua that gets to go to school because we chose to work hard instead of having to go work in the field. Because in the coffee world and those kinds of countries, I don't know if you've ever been to any of them, those are family businesses, right? I mean, farming is very communal, and you get up and you go in the field. So for me, I may never know the name of the little girl, but I know that if we continue to grow our business here, that we are able to purchase more and open up a greater market for those coffee growers, that I believe that girls will be able to go to school because you buy our coffee, that I buy our coffee. We have 4 things that I think if you ask any of our employees, they should be able to tell you. 4 of our core values, I would say. One is kindness. We want everyone who works here to be kind to each other, but more importantly, kindness to everybody that walks through the door. We never know what kind of a day that person is having. As I said earlier, I mean, I've gone through some major losses, and I know that some people who walk in here walk in with bad news about their kids' health or loss of a job or disappointment in a relationship. So kindness is very important. Curiosity is equally important to me. I want to work with people who are curious about the world, who are constantly learners, who are curious about other people. Optimism is another one, another key value that we have, because not everything goes right in the world, but sometimes you just got to put on that face and have that can-do attitude and try to overcome. And lastly, I laugh about this, pissing excellence. My husband coined this a few years ago. I'm pretty sure he heard it in a movie. I can't remember which one, but it was 2015. I remember him sitting us down. We have 5 kids. I remember him sitting us down on the couch and giving us this speech about how 2015 is going to be the year that the Hatfields will be pissing excellence, and it just stuck with us. So it's our thing. It's our way of saying being our best, really delivering the highest quality of service that we can to all of our customers. So you take all of that, and I think that's what makes us who we are. I had this idea way before we even opened to have, TED Talk-like gatherings here. I love to learn from others. We have so many people who are passionate about so many different things. You look at the art community that continues to grow here. Music. Just last night we had a listening party for a local musician that was, for his new vinyl he just released. Now that I have more time, now that I no longer have my corporate job, this is an area that I plan to really focus on. I'm personally passionate about bringing people together. I think I'm especially invested in helping young women. I was thinking the other day, I'm at that perfect age now that my 20-year-old self would be looking at someone like me and saying, help me, learn from your experiences. So I am starting something where I'm going to work with small business owners, female business owners. We're going to have specific agenda items to help each other and to lift each other up. But yeah, you'll see a lot more events here, for sure.